Hello, everybody. My name is Cloud Kill Connor, and we are back for the final episode of Crossroads Red Eye Hollow. I am joined, as always, by some of the best in the TTRPG space to ever do it. I'm going to go around a little round table, and they're going to tell you who the hell they are and where the hell you can find them. Starting with Aurora.
Hello, I'm Aurora underscore Aurora Lore. Oh, that was a great way to do that. You can find me on Twitch doing buddy work along streams where you can bring your project or do writing sprints with me. Other than that, I've got a lot of things that are in the works, but this is the one ongoing game right now. Everything else is hush hush, coming soon. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass it along to someone I know is working on a really sweet podcast. Lachy.
Hey, what's good? Thanks for that. My name's Lachy. I'm from the MimicsDen. You can find us on all the socials at the MimicsDen. We are an Australia-based D&D podcast starring some fantastic cast members, Connor being one of them, playing Trevor Barrowbriar, the most grating voice, but the most lovable halfling you can ever find on the internet. I also emerged out and play a little air genasi on Hexes and Vexes, which is super cool. And I'm playing Gerard Cole today. You may have seen him in previous episodes. He's not suspicious. He's a loving, caring husband. And I'm going to tag over to someone who's got the best brew to ever brew, Jojo.
Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey guys. That's me. I'm Jojo. Hi. I am playing Johnny Slim. And my socials are at Jojo Culturalist all over the internet and all the places you can find it. I'm an culturally trained anthropologist. I help out at Apochromatic Unlimited, which is like a BIPOC storytelling publishing platform where we try to get people to get their TTRPG wings, as well as provide a platform for writers and artists and just people trying to get out there. I'm also on Melon and Mythos podcast, which is a BIPOC world building podcast where we bring people onto the show, interview them, and get their points of view for world building and different storytelling tropes like the hero's journey, different settings, and sometimes we even play in those settings that we build, which is happening soon. But I can't talk about that yet. And I'm also on the Somebody's Heroes podcast. I do stuff, I guess. I'm in the Somebody's Heroes podcast as Volkan Espiritu, the half-dwarven pugilist boxer that is on audio podcasting places on the internet. And
You said you had nothing going on.
Right? I'm tired.
He thinks Johnny Slim's a dirty lie.
Okay, and I'm gonna pass it over to my buddies. I'm gonna pass it over to Justin.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in today. I am GM Justin. You can find me at all my socials at Forever GM Justin. You can also find me over at Roll D5, where we specialize in playing indie TTRPGs. Besides that, you can find me over at Whitney's channel over at Smoking Glue Guns every other Friday, playing as Narup on the Veil of Atheum. Like I said, every other Friday. Every Wednesday, you can find me over at Rebels Without a Castle as we're going through our main campaign. When we're not able to have one of our cast members, we're doing lore one shots. So join us for that. And then that is. You can also find me with Jojo over at Somebody's Heroes, where I'm just playing the cute little tabaxi guy known as Link. You know, it's just a cute little guy. It's no need to peek behind the curtain. But that is all I have. I'll go ahead and pass it back over to our lore master.
Who are you playing?
Yes,
because I forgot that too. Who are you playing?
Oh yeah, that's right. I am playing Javi Ramos, who is also just a little guy trying to figure out things. So there's nothing suspicious going on his arm. It's fine. We'll figure it out, guys. It's cool.
All right, and I'll snatch that. And I'm playing Weston, librarian by day, romance monster writer, by night. He's got that one right this time. And I'm going to pass it back to that lore master.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm Cloudkill Connor, you sexy little members of the kingdom. We're here to play some Hunters in Cars, which is a incredible kit bash of the Hunters Entertainment Kids on Bikes. If you know who I am, my condolences. And if you don't know who I am, I make funny little shirts like this one that says, "I crit my pants, my lord," that we're going to put up for sale at some point. Who's to say? But that's not important. I'm not here to shill. I'm here to play. So let's play some fucking Crossroads. You guys ready?
So
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Darkness. A heartbeat. Slow. Distant. And then faster. Too fast. Not yours. Not yet. You suck in a breath, but the air is thick. Gritty. Your mouth fills with soil. You choke. Panic takes over before your thought can. Your arms move, scraping against roots and stone, but there's no space, just weight, cold, pressing weight. You are buried. Not in a coffin, not in a grave. Just packed earth. Raw, wet, hungry earth. Somewhere above you, there's light. You all remember light, right? Kitchen tiles, front doors, your bedrooms. You remember the feeling of walking into them. But those memories aren't right. They're too clean, too quiet. Fingers break through first, your nails crack, skin tears, and then finally lungs. You drag in a breath. One by one, each of you claw upward. Your hands break the surface, tearing through this slick moss and stone. You emerge, not in the woods, not in your homes, but here. But where's here? You guys find yourself in a low chamber, carved by something that did not care if you could breathe or not. The walls are too close. The ceiling seems to almost drool with anticipation. Roots twitch where they shouldn't. Symbols glow faintly from rocks like scabs that haven't healed. The smell hits next, rot, damp, old blood. Not fresh enough to be alarming. Just familiar enough to know you've been here too long. You all sit up, filthy, breathless, unsure if your hearts started up again. Your hands are still shaking. There's dirt in your teeth. Your thoughts are fogged. What day is it? Where were you? You thought you went home? You thought you might have won. You thought. And we cut to title card. The air around you all is cold. Not freezing, just enough to bite. Just enough to remind you that wherever you are now, it's not where you were. This chamber is low and wide like a lung buried in the mountain. These stone walls aren't smooth, they're puckered, they're warped. They're like something was trying to grow here and was smothered mid-bloom. There's roots that winding through the rock that just twitch ever so slightly in the corners of your vision. There's a faint green glow pulsing from patches of moss across the floor and walls. It doesn't cast shadows, it just is. It's almost like this room forgot how light was supposed to work. You can see there are symbols carved into the stone around. Not all of them are complete. Some are half sketched, some have been gouged deep like someone gave up partway through. The lines aren't chalk or paint, though they bleed. And it's the one symbol, the same shape as the brand on Javi. It's carved into these walls, thick and dripping with ichor, this slow drip. Above you, the ceiling is slick with condensation, but it's not just water, it's thicker. It collects in long strands that never quite fall. Something about this room is alive. The silence buzzes around you, not with sound, but with pressure. It's like the room is holding its breath, waiting for you to speak first. Then a slight movement. You guys all look around to see what it is, and the tunnel that looked like it would have led up to the surface groans and collapses sealing you guys shut in this shower of dirt and dust. You're not getting back that way. Something wants you all here. And I pass it over to you guys.
Oh my god.
Oh, are we dead?
No, I don't think so. What happened?
Oh,
I think
don't
Ada's
feel
just
great.
Ada's just checking herself, making sure she's got her pack on her. Do we have our belongings with us?
You have all of your stuff on you. It's almost as if you were whatever you were doing last. And I'll leave that to you guys to tell me the last thing that you were doing beforehand. But you have all of your possessions on you. It's if you stepped out a door and you ended up here, basically, under the earth.
Oh, I still have these bad boys, and I shake one of these. I check out for all 3 vials of my original Go Blind whiskey. Do I have them on there?
All 3 vials that you brewed.
1, 2, yeah, 3. Okay, all right. I didn't end up here from drinking on my own, so that's a relief, because sometimes this is not the first time that I might have ended up in the dirt after testing some Go Blind, right? So I'm glad y'all are here with me, and this is real. This is real, right?
I don't know. Ada's very much kind of freaking out. Yeah, she's got her belongings with her, but being buried underground is not something she has any joy or purpose in. She likes books. She likes libraries, not being the first one on the scene. So she's a little hyperventilating. Does anyone have a light, a flashlight, something? It's dark in here.
Javi's just going to have the look of confusion and then just slowly turn over to Johnny and just say, wait, hold on. You've been buried alive before?
All right, well, it's more accurate to say I've buried myself, right? Because nobody gets to jump on me. But evidently, when I shift, I have certain predilections, and one of them is digging holes in people's yards. And I guess with superhuman strength, you can just keep digging and digging and digging and digging and then, like, without structural support, it just can, like, I try to get out and then I couldn't, and then it fell, and then it was just tough. So, like, it's tough because that's why I shouldn't drink right before, like, a full moon like that. I don't do that anymore, right? Like, that's DM question or a storyteller question. You described sigils on the walls. Is that accurate?
Absolutely.
Are they glowing?
It's kind of similar to this, like, the way the moss is casting light. There's enough visual, like, representation where you're looking at it and going, that's definitely, like, bright. But you see how this sign is, like, letting light out around it, basically? It's not that. It's just centered on itself. It's not casting light out. But these symbols do seem to pulse with this, like, little eerie red glow, but they don't emanate enough light to illuminate anything around them.
I give it a whiff. I know it smells rancid in here, but I want to reference my preternatural sense for other supernatural things. I'm gonna assume the sigils are supernatural.
And you'd be correct to assume so.
Well, because Johnny gives it a good sniff test just to be sure.
Heading up to one of the symbols there, you use those senses. You take in this olfactory overload as this smell of like ozone and copper and just like burnt hair and blood hits the back of your nose, and you can almost taste it in the back of your mouth there. The ping of, is this a supernatural being? The symbol itself isn't. And I think probably what's a little more concerning is the symbol itself was entirely like man-made. Like a human came here and did this. But the fact that it's referencing such like the fact that it matches exactly with Javi's symbol, which no human carved onto his skin, that just appeared. This was very much a pointed attempt to be like, I'm putting this here and I'm making a statement that it's here now. And the fact that there's so many of them, some of them aren't even finished. Some of them are like half done, as if like something was interrupted here. Give me a lore check. Anybody that wants to make a lore check for me. I'm going to say the difficulty rating is going to be a 10.
Okay.
First rolls.
15.
17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's go. And remember, if you fail,
give the bookie people their info.
Yeah.
give the book people some.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and roll my D4.
Let's go.
It could explode.
It could explode.
So it's a 2.
Okay, it didn't explode though.
I check myself for weird tats.
You start looking down at your arms there, and then you're like, and it's a piece of dirt, and you rub it off. I think probably what happens is you're relaying what you're sensing from these symbols, and you relay it to our bookies over here, Javi and Ada. I think what you guys gleaned from this pretty quickly is that this space feels like it should be cultivating something, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like it's trying to emulate like life in a sense. Like it doesn't quite understand how lights work. There's like some kind of like dripping, like almost like drool, like it's almost like this is some kind of like a symbolic like birthing chamber, if that makes sense. Like something has been like reborn here, basically. It's probably the best way to put it. I think the symbol research that you guys have done, Aurora, your face is how I feel, okay, about it. Don't worry. I think that what you probably piece together is here. It's not like these things are being like born, it's reborn. Things are entering here and they're leaving much different. Remade. I think is probably a good way to put it. The fact that there's so many of these symbols could be a number of the amount of things that have happened here. It could just be like penance. It could be something of like, it's so hard to discern, but I think you definitely go like, whatever walks out of here doesn't walk out the same.
I think with that, Ada's like heightened, just very disturbed by the location, what we just went through, not really being able to recall exactly what was happening. I think the last thing she remembers was packing our bags. I think weren't we heading to the quarry? Are we here at the quarry right now? I was gonna go talk to Hank, see if there was any other last things we needed. But regardless, like, how did we get here? Did we travel here, or did we just get taken from our homes?
I think as you're having those thoughts and you're like, I was gonna see Hank before this, like you start like digging around in your pockets and you pull out what looks to be like the back of a sheet of paper, basically, like something that was just pulled like errantly off the printer there, and you can see effectively like a redacted transcript from an organization you don't recognize called Hunt. You see the symbol of Hunt there. You see this organization you don't know. You see that it details a group of hunters who visited the Silverbrook Motel. That marries beautifully with the Brook Motel, that newspaper clipping you received. The names have been completely stricken and redacted from there. But the things that you do note are, it's almost like a title that keeps coming up called The Hollow Thing. Capital H, capital T. I think that's probably the most prevalent. And then, like, there's been like, it's like almost like screenshots from a video that have been attached to it. It's like probably like 10 frames basically flicking through. You see like what looks to be like a badly damaged recording from like some kind of vlog camera, and it flicks up to the ceiling of a building, and you can see the exact same symbol carved into the roof.
Okay, so we saw Hank. Okay, this is from that. This is that tie to the Silverbrook Motel that Dr. Whitmore was telling us about. Okay, so that happened.
Right.
We did see him. We must have come to the quarry right after that.
Yeah, we were getting our supplies, and then we were going to stop by the bar, and then we were going to come here, and we were going to torch this sumbitch. And then...
I'm concerned.
Gerard would like to just sort of step over for a second. Ada, do you mind if I have a look at that for a moment?
Yeah, of course. I know I got it pretty quickly from Hank, so I don't think we all got to review this. I know there's some stuff on the other side. I think it just has to do with an update for his menu. Ignore that. Here's the important part.
It's like Philly cheesesteaks, and it's crossed out, and it's like, we're not in Philadelphia.
Are there any symbols? Sorry, any structure to the symbols? Any sort of layout that can be consistent to what we've learned so far? Like
Absolutely, yeah.
Ritualistic design.
Yeah, you can see the way that the symbols are represented is the exact same symbol. It's this triangle at the top, line going down, this gathering mass below there. But I think probably what's more interesting about these is that from the kind of pixelated like screenshot that you have, these weren't like carved in. This was like painted on. And from around the rest of the room as well, you can see that like the room itself is torched. It was completely like lit on fire, like it combusted. But that symbol and like maybe like a little like border around it is completely untouched by the flame.
And there's no marks of like flame in here. There's no fire or anything related to the symbols.
No.
In this space, is there?
It just seemed like that symbol, for the purpose that it was there, like protected whatever it needed to, which could have been the symbol itself.
Did you relay like the rebirth at all?
Oh yeah. Thank you. So I think while we're in here and she's just kind of really freaking out about this and trying to place it, it's just like, I think we need to get out here. I don't know what happens to people or things that come in here, but something tells me they leave here completely different. There's something wrong about this room. I'm ready to get out.
Can I do a quick check around?
Yeah.
Are there other raves that we have merged from that are like lying there? Were we the only ones to come out of the ground?
Let's have a look.
Noise.
And if anyone doesn't have any kind of a light source, does anyone have anything that they would have had in their bags?
I'll hand out. I'll use my handyman and get everyone a. Gerard will reach down to his pouch and just provide everyone with a torch.
Great.
Better yet, like a lapel clip torch.
Nice.
Ooh,
Very
class.
Last of Us.
Nice.
That way we can read that paper too.
Yeah. Yeah, prior to this, there was not a lot of light in here, which I think is probably even more concerning. Having a look around, absolutely. The minute you turn these lights on there, you can see that you are currently standing in one. Looking down, you can see that there have been probably like dozens, if not like 2 to 3 dozens of these like recently exhumed patches of earth.
Ada jumps out of it
And as you jump
immediately.
out, you immediately stumble back into another one. It is claustrophobic in here. It's just there's barely any like normal ground to stand on. You can see some of them have been like repacked. Basically, it looks like the earth has just kind of like shifted and like reformed on there. But there are some recent ones where it's like a more of a pronounced divot.
Hey Johnny, can you figure out how long that's been, dug up with your expertise in digging?
I don't know, man. It's like it's all kind of dank dirt in here. I give it a sniff. I give it old college try. I never went to college, but I give it a go. I give it a sniff. And but also I have hunter's instinct as one of the strengths I poked from the source document, and I want to spend 1 fate token to ask the GM about our surroundings or the like, and the GM must answer honestly. And so I turned.
I'm such an idiot for including that.
And so now, what I want to know is when I smell the dirt, I'm looking to see if number one, I'm using my hunter senses to determine if we smell like these new cradles, if we have a newborn scent, perhaps. And I think that's just kind of how I'm expanding the range of a super sniffer. And I think that's what I'm going to shoot for. If I can only ask one thing about the surroundings, I think that's a good question to
Nice.
ask.
Nice. So the question is, do you guys smell like what's come out of these cradles, basically?
Yes, if yes. Or do we smell different, or do my compatriots smell different from the dirt in the cradles that have been disturbed?
I'm going to give you not one, not two, but three things off the back of this.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Number one, you smell exceedingly different. Number two, in the way that you're a supernatural creature, Johnny, in the sense that you know there are bad supernatural creatures out there, ones that do mean harm to people. If you were a bad supernatural creature, your friends smell delicious. And three, the other thing, you smelt this before any of this kicked off. You've smelt this on passerbys that come into your store. You've smelt this on people walking down the street.
You know what? I think actually I think I got some for this place right here. And I'm gonna unbuckle my pants. I'm gonna start pissing. And I'm going to tell the roots, hey, these are my friends here. And I'm gonna start whizzing.
Ada jumps back again.
Okay. I'm gonna start whizzing.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be marking my space in this space.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So much.
While you're marking your territory, make a grit roll for me. And I'll tell you right now, the difficulty you need to beat is a 12.
Well, it so happens that it's a D12.
Okay, so you just need to explode.
Fucking might.
Sorry, 13-year-old
He
brain.
already is.
Phrasing.
I'm struggling to find a D12. The suspense is killing me because now I gotta fucking
Ridiculous.
Roll for piss.
Roll for piss yet again. Why are we doing a lot
This
of rolls?
is full circle.
Okay. I swear to you, it's an 11.
I believe.
But I'm gonna burn, I guess, that
Oh,
plus one, that
Mhm,
second
that other
fate
token.
token to hit the 12.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Incredible. Probably a
Nice.
good thing too. As you
Which does that mean he
beats
gets
it,
to
beats it,
roll
beats it,
again?
yeah.
And you know that I'm using it like a pressure washer, and I'm hitting those systems.
Let me give me a second here. Let me reset. Okay, you begin to mark your territory, like Pressure Washer Simulator 2025. You I think the humor of the situation quickly leaves as you realize that like this was the correct move. I think it was funny for you initially, and then you're like, wait, this is a lot more animalistic than I had anticipated. This is actually the right thing to do. As you can feel like everything around you almost like shudder and like draw in a little bit and then release. And from your right, I would say, as you are marking your territory, you just hear like the faintest like lupine like howl off in the distance. And there's a briefest second where you're like, should I go and check that out? But with that grit roll, you manage to stay locked onto your task.
All right.
You
Okay.
finish. You successfully mark the territory.
Okay. Sorry about. No.
I
no.
was gonna ask you if there was anyone else buried in the dirt, but now if there is, I'm having you dig it out. I'm not digging anybody else out of here.
Okay, that's fair, number one. But number two, right, I smelled the dirt and I realized that it's just like, it's a scent that I realized all the people in town had, right? And so if people are being like, I don't know if they're being like replaced or grown or what, but like maybe they just keep going back. You remember this all started that campers were disappearing, right? So I wanted to give y'all like a protective aura, if you were, right?
You're not
Like, it
pissing on me.
no, well,
Ooh.
no, but like I could if you wanted to feel extra safe, it would probably help. I know that I felt the place shudder. I think it's because I had drank a little last night before we did it. So like I really hit him.
Javi, make a grit roll for me as well. DC's 12.
Okay. Find me a D8 real quick, and fate rolls are using a fate token
you can spend them.
after.
Absolutely, no, you can spend them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because that was a 2 for me for that roll, so I'm gonna spend this fate token to do what I need to do for that.
Okay, so you need to get so you're in the roll to 2.
Yeah.
So they're 1 for 1, the fate token. So it would bump it up to a 4, which is still going to be a fail.
Okay.
Or you could just take the loss.
Or you can take the loss.
Yeah, I'll take the L.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the L.
Keep the fate tokens and have a fate token for failure. Remember, anytime you fail a roll, you get another fate token. Javi, what does your office look like at home?
It's a mixture of different. What is it? So, it's a mixture of bookshelves that have everything lore-wise that can be found throughout the entire United States, from the different regions. There's also another bookshelf that has like all my video games, all the different games that I play, card games, card collections, stuff of that nature. And then there is my desk that I have where I have like 3 screens up, so that way I can kind of keep track of everything, and I can work on I can use one screen to be able to do research on another, while I have another screen to be able to be typing away at whatever research that I'm doing, and then another screen for whatever I'm listening to or whatever I have going on in the background. There are maps spread throughout the entire room showing the various different locations that I've been at. So if there's a new one, I will generally make space somewhere for the new one, or I'll even put a new map right over like a couple different maps, and just kind of go from there.
Incredible. I think probably what's most discerning as you spin around to tell Johnny that you don't want to be pissed on is that nobody is there anymore, but these shelves are, your desk is, your screens are there as well. Just everything has been plastered onto these caves of this wall.
Mm-hmm.
You can see kind of like that blue light buzz of your screens and your desk. And you can see there's a document, there's a living document. I would say that your codex is like a constantly being updated document, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that it's been filled to a magnitude that you would think impossible. There are thousands upon thousands of pages here. You bend down, leaning past, start having a look at it. It's your work, it's your syntax, it's your writing, it's how you would say it, the way that you describe things. 1 for 1. I think probably what immediately strikes you is that it's all misinformation, though. Anything, even the basics. It's like vampires, garlic, and you know that's myth, right? That's not correct, but you've written it in such gospel that you're like, this is the only thing that's correct. Everything that could be the correct way to deal with a monster has been completely reversed. It is just this massive spread of misinformation. You can see on like the footer of the page, all of them signed off by you as like a seal of approval, basically. And flicking through, you start looking through the other tabs, and you can see that there's like field reports as well that are detailing like casualties, and there's names of people in there. And you see Gerard Cole, you see Johnny Slim, you see Ada Weston, just a list of names that seem to go on forever. You see, as you're looking at them here, figure just leans behind you, looking over the chair. Just a version of you. You can see this brand pulsing red hot on your arm. Hey, at least you got the font right.
Wait, what?
No, over here. I'm over this side.
Did I drink some of the Go Blind whiskey?
Oh no, you're stone cold sober. You're doing good work.
I'm
though.
sorry. I'm a little lost here, so if you can like bring me up to speed, because I missed a couple steps here. So if you can, we can match cadence. That'd be
of course.
great.
We'll match cadence. You've done really good work here. You know that, right? What you put out here, incredible. I love it. I'm a huge fan, and I'm saying that as you. Javi Ramos, it's so nice to meet you. He shakes your hand.
Okay. For one, this right here is complete bullshit. So this isn't my work. I know my work. This isn't it. Two, I'm Javi Ramos. I don't know what the fuck you are, and I'm just going to like slowly like kind of like put my hands to like behind my back, and I'm just going to slowly reach for my pistol.
You see, he retracts from the handshake, not being given, and he's like, "Oh wow, nobody taught you manners. You're not a scholar, Javi, and that's okay. That's fine. You're a recruiter, we'll say. You've been feeding the hollow thing, one mistake at a time. I'm gonna get a lore roll from you, Javi. Can you give me a lore roll DC 15? It's a high roll.
It is. I think I'm gonna go spend one of my fate tokens beforehand, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you trying to roll with advantage then?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Alrighty, and that is going to be a 19, sir.
Very good. For the briefest second, as you are saying these things to yourself, you start reading it and you're like, this is right. Like, he's correct. Like, what have I been doing? Like, this is, all I've been doing is bringing people to be killed. And I think for the briefest second, you almost fall into this hole of, I can't believe I've done this. Why have I been feeding this thing? And then you manage to pull out of it and you know it's bullshit. Give me one more roll. I just need a grit roll. Just a DC of 8.
You're just gonna go ahead and burn this another fate token so I can just do that. Cause that's yeah, I was just gonna
Sensible.
just gonna go ahead and use those. Okay, there it is. Cool. Alrighty, that is a 5, and I will burn my last fate token to butt me up to pass.
If it's only a 5, it was an 8, so it's only gonna get you to a 6, unfortunately.
Damn it. Okay, well,
You're fine.
I'll take the L.
We'll take the L on that one. Make sure you take a fate token back. Incredible.
We get all assists, Little Master?
No, you're not there.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, all right.
I know. I'm like, can't help.
You know it's
best,
wrong.
I want you to know, at best, you're in the piss room with me. That's the best case scenario.
You know that the information is wrong. You know that whatever this projection, this thing of you, is incorrect. But as you are kind of like lent over this keyboard, this brand like flares up in your arm for a second, not before very quickly jerking your hand off to the side there and hitting publish. Somewhere, someone has a copy of that misinformation. You don't know where, you don't know whose hands it's going to fall into, you don't even know if it's real. But there is a very distinct possibility that somewhere someone has this bad information now. And we cut away from Javi. You guys spin around to find your companion who's no longer there.
Oh shit. All right. Out of curiosity, Lore Master, is there any discernible entrances, exits currently in the room besides the one that was bringing light in and it collapsed? Does it right now? It looks like we're completely enclosed in this, or is there some passages?
Would you like to have
off?
a little explore for me, please and thank you?
I will.
Give me a grit roll as you kind of begin to like search your way through these walls.
Sure thing.
It's just going to be
okay.
a DC
So I'm kind of like
5.
pushing up against them, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. DC of 5. Ooh,
I rolled a 3, but I think I'm going to be I'm gonna go ahead and take that loss. Ada's kind of freaking out, like there has to be a way out of here. How did he get out of here? And maybe my friends come help me find something against the walls.
Hey there, Javi, where'd you go? And I'll start like patting at the walls. Yeah.
All right, make a grit roll for me as well.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Ada, as you are feeling along the walls there, you feel the air kind of bend, if that makes sense. It feels like everything has just taken like a sharp right turn in like your equilibrium. The tunnel that you're holding onto kind of melts away, and you're standing inside this library now that shouldn't exist. There's these massive, crumbling, endless, these shelves stretching into the dark above you. They're leaning at these impossible non-Euclidean angles, and they're groaning, screaming under the weight of these books. The dust in the air hangs like fog. You can see these particles moving, and they're not ordinary tomes. And I think as you go up to have a look, you see that every single one of them has your name on the spine of them.
I'm gonna whip around. Do I see anybody here?
You see nothing but an expanse of bookshelves with nothing but your published works on them.
Any titles I don't recognize?
Absolutely. Are you reaching for one, or are you just like looking for on the spine still?
I think I'm gonna reach for one because I had some fun, like, oh, these are ones that are her works in progress.
Nice.
She has one that's The Wrong Hunter, and another one that's The Chatting Ghost. Those are just for a couple little nods. So I think she's gonna grab one of the two of those that are right next to each other. She knows she's been working on those two books, but she hasn't written them yet. So she's kind of, there's nothing worse when you're a writer than trying to think of what happens next. So I think she's going to kind of like flip ahead to one of the places where she's currently blocked and try and see if she can figure it out.
I love that. You pull that off there. You pull off the Wrong Hunter there. And flicking through, what would be the worst possible ending that you would give to that book? What would be the most narratively unsatisfying, trope-filled, 2.5 star on Goodreads ending for it?
There was like this love triangle going on, and the girl didn't end up with any of them. She ended up with ended up by herself, and the two guys just like went off somewhere.
You're reading it there and you go, I wouldn't do that. That doesn't make any sense. And as you replace the book, another one, boom, thuds off there, and you see same thing. It has your name on it in this nice, like, kind of like illuminated, like, text, like, script on the front. It just says, "The girl who got them killed."
Oh no. Okay. Is it open?
No, it's not currently open.
But it says it's by me. So I think I flip it to the back just to like kind of check out the back cover and just kind of, what's this one about? I don't have it. This isn't a work in progress.
It has an artist photo, a lovely shot of you on the dust cover there, and you can see it has like a short little bio. It's like Ada Weston from whatever town we said we were in. Incredibly talented, like, author, published like millions of works. Unfortunately sent about 3,492 hunters to their deaths and counting.
What?
Having a little flick through the book, if you want to have a look, you can see that there's like these beautiful illustrations there of like a nice, like, stylized version of you, like, very happily, like, pointing something out to a hunter that you remember from like a couple of weeks back. It was like a simple, like, vampire nest situation, and you were like, oh yeah, here's a little bit of lore, a little bit of information that's probably going to help. Flicking to the next page there, you can see this graphic depiction of him getting violently torn out of the throat.
Do I remember if they made it back, or
you
if this is
haven't heard
one
of them since?
So I think that's gonna kind of unsettle her, because half of the reason why she went on this expedition with these guys and gotten into the field is because she's trying to make up for in the past when she wasn't giving any information and got a lot of hunters injured, and now she's trying to kind of help more. And maybe if I'm participating, but if somebody got information from me and they still ended up this way.
These thoughts fill your head, and you can hear like the books like rustling, like, you know how like when you're flipping through pages and it almost is like this whisper, and you see the whispers kind of start to pull out into individual voices, and it just says, You said you wanted to help? So why are they all dead? And you can see names appearing on more of these shelves now. Javi Ramos, eaten alive. Johnny Slim, shot by his own gun. Ada Weston, archivist of graves.
Any mentions of Gerard?
No.
Huh.
As you spin around there, you can see that there is just a single, like, ornate mirror in the center of this massive area. And you can see your reflection in there. A little bit bloodier, wearing like this thick, like, hunter's coat that goes down to like your boots, staring at kind of like stained sleeves, hands dripping with something. Waves at you as you come across.
That should. No, you're supposed to do what I do.
No, I'm doing it, but better. You see, look at all the work. You've done really well.
There's no way I could publish all of these books in one lifetime. First off.
Well, if we want to get into semantics about it, I guess not, but this kind of worked, right?
Are you a version of me?
Let's say you're the first draft and I'm the published copy. Does that make sense?
That's a way to look at it. Are you still, helping people?
Yeah, in a manner of speaking. Like, flip some of the blood off the sleeve there. Just a bit more hands-on,
I think at this point, Ada's just really pushing down, trying not to feel sick to her stomach. She has not done much more than squirt pesticide at somebody.
You see that she kind of pulls back the coat there, and you can see next to like a pretty impressive like pistol, just a tiny little plastic water pistol, and she goes, "Yeah."
I check? Do I have mine still on me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're still using that? You're not working with this thing, right?
No, we would never. It's a memento.
Memento. For what?
You should really find your friends. I think they're probably gonna need your help.
Yeah, I think you're right. And she's just like really not liking this mirror thing. Is there any like dust cloth, anything that I can just like throw over
Absolutely.
it? So like you can't see me.
You pull this cloth off this chair and you throw it over there, and you can just hear the last thing as it goes. Look, you made this yourself. You wanted to be more hands-on. You wanted to help. It's gonna end this way regardless.
Not like this. Not like this.
And we cut away from Ada. Gerard and Johnny, you were the only two left in here.
Did we see her disappear at all?
You remember where she was, and it's like your eyes skated over her, and when you look back, she was no longer there. Gerard, this feels incredibly reminiscent to what has happened to you. You know that whatever this thing is, it wants to split you apart and make you scared. But it's up to you whether you know that and you push on through in spite, or whether you try and fight back.
Also, I do want to remind you that you asked me for a grit roll when I started patting at the walls.
Thank you so much. What'd you get?
I got a 9.
Ooh, very nice. Again, you hear this howl, and it's just to the point now where it's almost like a summons, more or less, like some kind of, I hate to use the word alpha in this sense, but like some kind of leader of the pack is like, hey, come on, you're late, hurry up, you're keeping us waiting. But you don't feel compelled.
I do not feel.
You don't feel compelled.
But when I press it, what did my investigation padding at the walls reveal then?
You felt this, just like this faint like pulse in the walls.
Hey, Ada, I think I can hear its heart. And I look over, and she's not.
And the only one you see standing there still is Gerard.
Gerard, where'd she go?
She just disappeared.
Hey man, what like the? Hey, I seen this in a movie once. Let's look at the ground. Maybe they got shrunk. Hang on. I squat really low to the ground and I see if maybe they've been shrunken, just in case. Just in case.
Honey, I shrunk the hunters. I think it's funny. Take a fate token. I liked it. And also Justin and Aurora, please also take a fate token for that scene as well. Well handled. No, as you get closer to the ground, all you can see is more dirt, unfortunately.
Hey, Gerard, man, I'm starting to listen. I'm starting to get kind of stressed out. Okay, and where? Okay, all right. They were in here. They're not in here, right? But I'm getting the sensation that like there's another one of me, right? Like with my predilections, out inside the just far away, and I'm kind of getting stressed out, and I'm gonna pop one of my Go Blind whiskeys and just take half a swig of it.
Make a grit roll for me. That shit hurts. It's lower for you because it's your brew. It's just gonna be a 5.
Well, that one was a 2.
There's no mechanic for being stunned here right now, but for whatever you're about to say next, it's gone. It's gone from your mind.
Sorry, so it's kind of like a salt smell, right? Like you just Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm good now. I just had to put liquid silver in my anyway.
Johnny.
Yeah.
This seems awfully familiar to something I came across a while ago, and I think whatever it is calling you. You need to answer, but you need to be prepared for what happens when you get there. It's going to find you sooner or later, but you're going to need to beat it. Just push through. And I'm going to take out a small pouch of just like, it looks like hymn sheets of paper. See, my husband and I worked on this a while ago. And it's something that we talked about briefly. Did we ever come across something that we couldn't deal with ourselves? See, he was once a man of God, and he taught me lessons. And I will unfurl one of these hymn sheets, and just at the top of it, it says, and I'll read it to you as I push some of this like powdered dust concoction onto your skin, if you'll let me. He will cover you with his feathers, and you will be safe under his wing, and I'll tie it around your wrist. Now, go find what's calling you.
I just got chills.
That was good.
Before I put my hand back onto the wall, I want to smell check Gerard again. Just to see if he has cradle smell. I know like my team did it and my piss was all over the place, but now that it's just us and Gerard didn't get piss on him, I want to double check. Does Gerard smell like the cradle in here?
I think yes, he smells like the cradle, but there's an underlying scent to it as well. There's something like deeper and older and richer, and it's this strange combination. It almost smells like mahogany and like fine leather, but then it smells like brimstone and sulfur and things that are much older than that.
Right. Okay, well, hey man, just in case this doesn't work out, I'm gonna toss you a bottle of the Go Blind whiskey. And I said, that's for either to make yourself, make this more tolerable, or to set the place alight. And I gesture to the roots.
Nice. Gerard, I'm gonna give you an option here as well, my friend, for that. You talked about how Montgomery and you kind of like went through this together. I think there's a part of you that thinks you probably could do this with Johnny if he needs the support and he needs that little bit of extra faith, basically. That link that you've created, it's almost like this, like a tether, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like you can feel it, that if you were to go far enough, it would snap. But for now, there's like something like linking you. You could help him if you wanted to, or you could push on your own. It's up to you.
Which way does the tether feel more? Like, is there slack? Which direction do I feel?
No,
do I know, or is it more like?
I think it's entirely in your court whether or not you think that Johnny is equipped to handle this on his own, or whether he needs the support.
Johnny,
Yeah.
I think you can do this yourself.
Hey man, don't look so glum. I'll be right back, bro. And I put my hand on the wall.
Okay. Nice. Very cool. Hey Johnny, the tunnel, as you're touching it, the room itself, sorry, I should say, you see a tunnel open up in front of you, narrow and pressing in at all these sides here, enough that you kind of have to crouch and then eventually crawl. You can feel these roots underneath you just kind of moving ever so slightly, enough to be discomforting under your legs. But you're brushing them aside. You can see that like there's this like slick moisture to them, but there's not enough light to see if it's just water or not. But bringing it up to your nose, it does smell coppery. The air begins to change. It's not this stale cradle smell anymore. It's thinner, it's cooler. I think you know this scent before it even really reaches your brain. It's this pine smoke and burning wood. It's this beautiful smell of the forest. The tunnel widens up abruptly into this clearing, and you can see moonlight filtering through tree branches. It doesn't make any sense. There's no way you could have traveled outside that quickly. But you can see it's almost lit in a way, I don't want to say stage-like, but it's almost like a well-composed scene. Standing up, your boots are crunching down on these leaves, and you're expecting that crunch, but it's like a squelch of something soft underneath you instead. And you look down, and you can see under the pale moonlight this blood that should be red in normal light, but just seems black. And in the center of the clearing, a body. This body has been sprawled out, ripped open, its chest clawed wide. There's torn viscera that's steaming in the moonlight, and that smell hits you next, that thick, irony smell. Has Johnny ever killed somebody like that before?
Johnny had on the night that he was hunting and spent 3 of his 5 silver bullets, they were able to bring the werewolf down, but he got caught in the crossfire between him and the other hunters, and it was a full moon's night, and when he came to, he was the last one standing, and part of the drinking was to not think about it.
I think as you are looking at that body again, your mind is immediately cast back to then. You can see the way that this body's been torn apart. It's those claws. It's the same damn claw marks that you know you're capable of. And you can look down and you can see that involuntarily your hands are just kind of like beginning to shift in response to that. Just these long fur covered nails start popping out. And then from across the clearing, you see a shape rises up. Same height, same build, same kind of gangly, crooked look about you. Even like the same dress. You can see that, what are you wearing right now? Like a kind of like a flannel situation.
Yeah, I think he probably dresses in monocolors, like single tones, but like a sensible long sleeve kind of Jeep Wrangler looking blue button down, you know?
You can see this figure has got that, but it's torn, it's been ripped, it's hanging off him, and you can see coming up from the crouch just this nice wide grin, blood on the lips, a little glint in your eyes, and you can see raises like one of these bloodstained hands and goes, "You let me out. You always do."
Hey man, well, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a pack meeting, I think.
You see,
I heard you calling me, and I'm trying to focus, right? Because it's difficult keeping a handle on things. And I hear you in the back of my mind. So we both know who's running the show, right? So what's up?
as you say, we both know who's running the show. I think you don't even see it, but in an impossible blur, this other you has closed the gap and just reaches out with just a hand just resting on your throat, just very lightly. Yeah, we both know who's running the show, right? I called, you came, like a good dog.
You don't run me, all right? This, at best, is a partnership.
You want to bet on that?
Well, what are we betting? I think all of your possessions are probably my possessions, freeloader.
Oh, you got me there. I was thinking more like, you let me take the wheel of this beat up old piece of shit instead.
Okay. All right, that's interesting, because I wouldn't have to think. I do like that. It is stressful. What would you do with the ride? Put a lot of work into this.
Did you?
Well, I mean, staying alive is kind of hard, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I respect it. Listen, I think that I have like slightly better odds of keeping your friends alive is what I'm saying.
Okay. How would you do that?
You see he like points back to like the viscera in front of you there, and you can see that it's multiplied now. It's multiple people, and you can see Ada, you can see Gerard, you can see Javi just torn apart. And he goes, well, they didn't end up there because I just stood around sniffing symbols. So
Right. No, that's true. I think I've been doing a lot of thinking. Really, I haven't left this little town because I didn't want to cause that. And but I don't think we can keep on like this, right? You vying for control, me trying to stop you from ripping apart people. Because why we can't keep doing this, right? We have to keep this under control. And if that means that I have to show you that I'm the boss, well, I think my conscience is clear.
you make a good point. I'll concede that. I am you. We're having the same thoughts right now. This is more of an internal battle, right? Let me barter to you. Is it the guilt weighing you down? Is that the problem? You feel bad about the people that you ripped apart? Is that the issue? That's why you keep making your go buying whiskey and being funny and making all the jokes and pissing everywhere because it gets an easy rise out of everybody and it's easier not to think. Are we on the money?
Okay, well, you got me by the tail, yeah.
Well, my offer is you don't even have to be thinking about that. You think I feel a shred of guilt? I feel good. I feel amazing. It's nice to let it out every once in a while. You feel better after, trust me.
No, I do get that. I think the thing is, right, is that guilt and that conscience is the thing that will always separate us. But it does feel good to let it loose. And I swing on him.
Let's go. Give me a strike roll, my friend.
Okay.
And he is going to. What is your reflexes dice?
My reflex is a D6.
Okay, let's go.
That's a 4 for me.
That is only
On
a
reflex.
3 from him.
Oh, sniggity snap. And then you wanted me to roll for strike. Would that be muscle? Oh, no, strike is a D8. I see it. Okay.
I was hoping.
That's a 7 on the D8
All right.
for strike.
Try and get out of the way with another reflex roll. Absolutely not. He sees this burst of movement from you and he tries to match it, but he's just not quick enough as you bring a claw up into him.
Yeah, I'm pulling a full claw, like I'm slashing clean across the face.
Incredible. You slash across the face there. Give me a grit roll here and roll it with advantage because Gerard has given you effectively this blessing.
Oh, sick.
And it is only going to be a DC of 8 because you slashed out at him.
Well, that's so good because that first one was a 1.
Okay, here we go.
What is that? Ooh, that's another 1, sadly.
Okay,
I
that's
could
fine.
not break away.
That's okay. You get a fate token for it. You can
Okay.
see that for a brief second, it looks like that was going to put him down, but he rears back up. He is going to make a strike roll on you, and you're going to make a reflexes roll to avoid it.
Okay. 2 for me.
3 for him. You see he returns it in kind and just slashes a claw across your face there. He needs to make a grit roll. Let's have a look. What's your grit dice?
My grit is a
A
D12.
D12. Nice. For the briefest second, you can feel him clawing his way back into your mind, trying to take control. Give me another strike check, my friend.
Another strike.
Give me another
I
strike.
make another strike. I lost. Okay. We're slugging. I'm gonna beat this guy's ass.
Let's go.
8.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, he absolutely.
Explodes.
Another claw. It explodes. Go again.
6. 14.
Holy shit. No, on a 4, again, you drive the claws up this time into like his like solar plexus. You feel it like squelch in deeper than it should there. Give me another grit roll. The DC is much
Another
lower now.
roll.
It's only a 5.
That's an 8. Can I narrate a little?
Give me some flair, baby.
Yeah, so I think as we've demonstrated, he can do partial shifting, usually by accident, but I think that anger and letting that loose, he'll transform his hand, slashing at the face, take the catch back, the rebuttal strike, and then he'll shift his left arm in, kind of like hook the arm that just caught him and punch the claws into the stomach with the left hand holding the one that just hit him, and as he'll punch it in, he'll say, "That's the thing. When you let the beast take over, you don't think."
Oh, you can see that even though this was this internal battle and this manifestation of you wanted so badly to take control, you can see the smile on his face as he realizes that you've conquered it yourself. You've conquered you, basically. And he just goes, all right, fair is fair, you win. How do you reabsorb this beast? What does this look like?
I think that hand that was hooked around the arm, I bring it to the side of his face, and I bring our foreheads together, and I say, "Hey man, we work better when we're not at war."
That's so good. Take a fate token. Oh my goodness. Woo! And we shift away from this scene, leaving our friend in the clearing. Gerard, you feel this tether snap as Javi disappears, but it doesn't feel like a bad snap. It feels like not Javi. You feel this acknowledgement as Johnny heads away there, and it's not a bad snap. It's very much like he needs to deal with this on his own. And I think you know at this point that whatever this is, it's nothing compared to what you haven't faced already. But you already feel it happening, and you get this scent of lavender again, and you know what this is. Pushing forward, this entryway opens in front of you, and immediately you know it's this lavish, like oak-lined hallway. It's gorgeous. And you find yourself back in your father's study. The desk remains here, grand and dark. You can see those shelves are still lined with these relics, but now some are shattered and melted like wax under a candle flame. And you can see there's one chair, one candle, one shadow where he used to sit. And then a voice creeps into the room. Not his voice, but it's shaped like it. It's hollowed out. Was it worth it?
I'd say so.
You see that candlelight sputters for a second and casts your own shadow long and warped across the floor. This room shifts. There's books stretching into rows that never end, and somewhere in the dark you can hear your friends calling out. He's gone. You fed him to that hollow thing. The voice returns, this time softer. Kind of like a salesman trying to like kind of circle you with like a sale, basically. You were always a good negotiator. You were clever, efficient, ruthless even. You see this old ledger appear on the desk, open. Its pages like fluttering in the wind, and each line reads a name crossed out, basically. All of this dissolution of these deals. At the bottom of this ledger, you see a new name appear in red ink. Father Montgomery, ? Tell me, Gerard, how long until your new father ends up on that list too?
See, there's a difference between a deal, a contract, an oath, and a vow. I don't expect something like you to understand that, but I understand it.
Give me a grit roll. And DC is 10.
Could I say I've given like myself one of the hymns?
Absolutely, yeah.
What the hell is my grit? DC is 10?
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8, but I'm going to spend 2 of my grit points. Sorry, fate tokens. To bump it up to bump it to 10.
Grit points.
Does that make it explode then?
That explodes, yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna send it. 14.
Ooh. Incredible. You speak these words, and you know that whatever this is just an illusion of this man that thought he was great and powerful and aspired for more. You know that whatever you have with Father Montgomery, it's not transactional. It's not a deal. It's nothing that needs to be written in a ledger. You speak these words out, and you can see that it scratches itself out from the list there. And a different voice comes in this time. Softer, sweeter, like a warm hug. I am really proud of you, Gerard. Even if you don't remember.
Thank you.
I think Gerard will have a tear. And he'll look around to see if there's any tangible origin of the voice.
No, I think that as quickly as it came, it vanishes. And you're left in the study.
I think he'll drop to like a knee and just sort of just sort of leaning against the desk, like exhausted. And we'll write a note on a bit of paper, just push it across the counter.
I don't know if you'll ever make it back here, Father, but if you do, that's waiting for you.
And the note just says, some will seek forgiveness, others escape, make your choice. And then he'll just head to the door.
Incredible. Your hand reaches the door, and we cut away from there. All of you blink, and your vision is replaced into this vast chamber. The air is heavy, it's thick with the scent of this soil and rot. Each breath tastes of rust and moss and bone dust. These walls pulse slow and steady like the room itself is drawing breath. There's these damp roots threading through the stone. They twitch slightly with each exhale like nerves misfiring. You can see these symbols, the same symbol carved deep into the rock, some finished, some half scratched, but all of them bleeding this black ichor. The ceiling arches high above, lost in darkness, but somewhere up there, there's this consistent water drip, a deliberate rhythm. It echoes like that same heartbeat. In the center of the chamber is what looks like a pulpit, like an altar. It's grown from this knotted root and splintered bone. It isn't placed. There's nothing man-made about it. It's grown. It's been coaxed from the earth like a tumor. Beneath it, the stone splits open into this ragged wound, a fissure, glowing with this light. It doesn't flicker or shimmer. It just is. It's a kind of glow that your brain tells you shouldn't be real, a light that doesn't illuminate. And then you see a familiar figure. Dr. Rachel Whitmore. The body that you disposed of. She stands beside the altar, but it's not her anymore. The body is rigid, these shoulders pulled unnaturally back, arms hanging limp like a marionette on strings, and her feet are just barely touching the stone. From her spine, these roots have erupted, curling upward into this shape that mimics wings, skeletal twitching, shifting, as if they're trying to remember how to fly and escape the earth. Her jaw hangs open, her eyes are rolled back, her chest doesn't rise or fall. She's not breathing, she's not alive, but something inside of her is. You see this sound stirs, it's not a voice, it's more like all voices speaking at once, layered, out of sync. It comes from the walls, the altar, from behind it, feels like behind your teeth, like it's coming from you. And then from her open mouth, it speaks, "You belong to the mountain." The glow from this fissure pulses brighter, and these roots on Rachel's back begin to spread. They're dragging along the stone, scratching these shallow furrows into the ground as they slither outward. And the altar just cracks slightly like it's listening. The whole room leans forward like it's waiting. My hunters, what the fuck are you doing?
Do we all see each other? Are we all back together?
You all see each other now?
All right. Immediately, Ada grabs onto whoever's closest. Probably more comfortable with Javi than the others,
Absolutely.
but like just like legit grabs like, okay, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, Dr. Rachel Whitmore, is it look like it's a figure of her, or like the last we saw of her? Like she's burned. She looks like she was buried or no. They would have salted and burned the body.
Absolutely.
Is it kind of like
Absolutely,
a reborn version
yeah.
of her?
Yeah, it very much looks like a facsimile of Dr. Rachel Whitmore. It's like the last face that it used. It's like, cool,
yeah.
Let's use that again.
Ugh. Okay. So Ada's feeling a little more confident, like, okay, everyone's back here. Javi's here. Great. She's gonna look in her pack for the little sample of the plant. Not pull it out, just look. Is it moving?
Yeah, it's like bashing against.
Out.
It's like absolutely like vibrating and bouncing inside of here.
I know what I want to do first, but I'm gonna let everybody else figure out if they want to do something too. Or I can just go.
What are we doing?
How far away is said pulpit and also root monster creature?
Yeah.
I would say it's probably like a good like 45, 50 feet away. Like there is a sizable amount of distance still between.
Do the roots extend from creature into environment / walls?
Absolutely. You can see crawling up the side of the walls there. It's almost like a nervous system. Everything is kind of like reacting to itself. And you can like look down at your feet and like it's like patches have been like cleared for you to walk around as if it wants you to approach.
Okay. It seems like it wants me to approach.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Just I think I'm going to flick a fresh bottle of Go Blind whiskey into my hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be like fumbling with the cap, saying like, "Ah, man, I'm feeling a little anxious," and I'm going to look over my shoulder at Javi, and like shake my flask. But sorry, I'm all kind of turned around and I don't know what's happening. Could you help us? We met at the library, and I'm going to walk into the lion's den, as it were. And I want to try and talk or get into talking range.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to drink the Go Blind, but not swallow.
I love this. I really do. What I'm going to say is make a charm roll for me initially.
Well, you know what? It so happens at long last,
charm
is a D20.
Okay,
Yeah.
incredible. It's going to be
Fuck yeah, boy.
It is going to be a DC 10. Okay, so you just have to hit a half.
Okay.
Let's go.
16.
Fuck yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. You begin this walk, and then there's no recognition behind this creature's eyes because it's just wearing her like a facsimile at this point. But you can see that it's sensing that you want to get closer, and it wants to help. So you see that one of these roots wraps around your midsection and is going to start dragging you towards it unless you would like it to not to. So you're going to have to make a muscle check for me.
No, that is not. I'm going to let it pull me, and I am going to like release the flask. I'm going to like release the flask just on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let him pull me until I get close.
Incredible. You guys all see Johnny have this vine like lashed around his midsection, and it is a little uncomfortable. You think that like it probably would have cracked something if you weren't a little bit more supernaturally inclined. You see it just lifts you up in the air with no effort and begins to just drag you towards this creature.
I would definitely shout out like, Johnny, are you okay?
You have a mouthful of whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, while that's happening, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I can go unless you want to go.
You
I'll
can
do it. I'll do mine.
Just do it.
So
Go for it.
yeah.
Go for it.
Javi's here. Okay, Johnny looks like he's in trouble, but like on purpose, like he's doing something. So I'm going to use my always ready. And we keep running into like these gardening things. So I think Ada, when she was going back and trying to like make some pesticide, was going through her gardening shed, and at first was like, should I bring shears? Wait, nah, and reached past the shears to the machete. Because she's got a good club, but like that doesn't cut branches.
No.
So she's got a good sized bag. She's usually carrying like big old books and stuff like that. So she legit has a machete that she like has at the ready. So she's not pulling it out. She's just like, okay, it's right here, ready to go.
Incredible. You feel the weight of this machete in your hands, and it's not dissimilar to the same feeling that the other version of you in the mirror kind of looked like this capable, confident hunter that's ready to slice something at a moment's notice. All right, you've got your machete prepped and ready. Justin. Lachy, what are you guys doing?
I think Javi at this point is going to take one of the Go Blind whiskeys, light it on, what is it? Have it Mazel Tov style?
Molotov it, yeah.
Molotov, yeah.
Mazel Tov style.
Mazel Tov, yeah.
Alrighty.
Light it and just chuck it, and I'm aiming for the base of it, so that way it should be able to explode and cause things to light up.
Alrighty. I love that. It begins to arc in the air. Gerard, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to see Javi do that. I'm going to pull a bottle as well, the one that Johnny threw to me. I'm going to crack the top. And they're only like tiny, aren't they?
Yeah, they're minibar sized, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get a little bit of flame in my hand, just conjure it up, and just sort of dip the finger in and then just throw it. And the goal here is trying to get it to run across one of these like vein tendrils, to try and strike it from somewhere else to distract it, and see if that will work and assist in some way.
If you bring down my whole fight by throwing go blind whiskey at this fucking thing, I'll be impressed. Okay. All right. Here's what happens in sequential order. Johnny, you get whipped along towards it there. You see that the creature brings you like just above, like face to face, and you can see these lidless, eyeballless eyes of this Dr. Rachel Whitmore, this facsimile of her. You can see like the vines like just poking out, like wreathing around. It's just this face that it's wearing, and you can see it's like stretched impossibly thin across this mass of writhing vines. You have a mouthful of go blind whiskey. What are you doing?
What I'm hoping for is I get pulled up into within spitting distance.
You are in spitting distance.
Okay. As it's how much spitting distance? How much
do you think
important?
Johnny can spit?
Well, I think he could probably do a good solid 6-7 foot hawk.
Yeah,
I feel like he could.
So Johnny is a spitter.
Yeah, he could spit. Yeah, he could spit. But I'm hoping to get closer than that still. I'm trying to see how far it'll pull me.
I think on the charm roll, it has gotten you like uncomfortably close. Like it's examining you to the point where you're probably like fairly close up in its face, because I would love to see where this is going.
As it pulls me up into its face, I think to myself, this is the moment where the hunter becomes the prey. And I smirk and fully wolf shift as I bite onto its neck. And I'm assuming that I'm going to then pull on my angelic tether, my feathered tether?
Yeah.
I'm pulling on Gerard. I'm hoping that Javi. I'm pulling on my guardian angels 1 and 2, assuming that fire is gonna come. And when I bite into the body, I let the rage and I let the beast out, and I just start biting, hoping to get the glowvine whiskey into the body, into the core. And I just start biting and biting and biting.
Okay. Make a strike roll for me at advantage.
Okay.
Take the higher number.
Okay, that was an 11.
Incredible.
But I'm going to burn my 3 fate tokens to a 14.
Holy fuck. Okay, here's what happens. Gerard, you lob this small little Molotov across like the hall to one of these vein tendrils off to the side. It hits, explodes, starts to eat up at one of these roots. You see, as it does that, the creature whips its head around, leaving this like beautiful exposed neck as Johnny just begins to ravage and chomp at it. You are just tearing fine, and you can see like some of it is trying to like force its way down into you, but you just keep biting. Javi, you throw your Molotov of Go Blind at it there. You see it's arcing through the air. It is aiming for the base. You see it hits and begins to climb up, this flame just coming up. You, Johnny, are effectively dumping this load of fucking phrasing. God damn it.
I'm puncturing.
You are
I'm puncturing. I got you.
You are puncturing
Penetrating it.
You're puncturing the neck of this hollow thing wearing Whitmore's skin, leaving this gaping wound. The Go Blind whiskey is just spilling out of your like canine jaws now. You can feel both of you, each part of you in synchronicity just working to just tear this creature apart, and you begin to drip this whiskey into its body. You can see the flames are starting to rise up, and it lets out this unnatural scream, this like tritone layered scream as it rips around trying to shake off this creature that it thought wanted to join it. Ada, what are you doing? You pulled the machete out at this point, I'm assuming.
Yeah. While this is all going on, that machete is coming out. If there's anything that's coming towards the rest of the three of us, like she is at the ready. She's not necessarily gonna jump in right after Johnny right now, but she's ready, and she's also okay if like Javi or Gerard are like, oh yeah, I'll jump in with it. Like
Absolutely.
It is available,
100%.
kind of thing.
Okay. We're going to roll a rough initiative. Everyone roll a reflex check, and we're going to go off the highest number there.
Okay, so mine's a 4, and I rolled a 4, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue
go.
rolling.
Yeah.
And that's
Nice.
6, so 6.
Yes, the dice tell the story.
Alrighty, okay.
Yeah.
So, Javi, you're a 6?
Yep.
All right. Johnny? 2?
2.
That's okay. 4 for Ada. Wonderful. 3. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
That's good.
And wherever our beastie lies.
Okay. You can see now that in reaction to this flame, all of these tentacles have begun to move. These little root-like creatures are just swiping up and trying to grab your legs. Top of our round, we have Javi. Now, very briefly, just to refresh everyone's mind on how combat works, you guys have 3 injury levels. If all 3 injury levels are hit, you either are unconscious or killed as per whatever the want of what lands the killing blow in that scene. For this, I will tell you on the table right now, it's going to kill you. If you hit 3 injuries, you are dead. It has 4. I will tell you that now off the top of the table here. The fire burning up through it and Johnny ravaging the neck, that has taken away 1, so it also has 3. It is a level playing field. Javi, what are you doing?
Taking a quick look around me, seeing where else I can throw one of my last 2 remaining Go Blind whiskeys, and seeing where I can toss this and that will be most effective.
I think on a very quick glance, it's already got fire burning up into it. If you were to throw it any higher up, you're likely to hit Johnny. However, there is that fissure behind the pulpit, and there's also the pulpit, which also seems to kind of be reacting to you guys.
Okay. I'm going to make a quick... you're going to see as Javi just beelines it over to where the fissure is, just so he can be right there, and there's no missing it. Like, right there, light it, and roll it over there, and break it, or just like chuck it just to cause it to break. Like,
Nice.
This thing's going to get lit on fire.
All right, incredible. Just because it's so close, you don't even have to like make a strike roll for it. You're basically rolling it into this fissure. You see that it falls down. You hear it like ding, 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 down the bottom there, and the creature reacts as if it's just been stabbed. It rears back. You see these massive wings flare out, gorging these deep holes in the rock around it there. That really hurt. But it seems like whatever is beneath there it's separate, but it is the same entity, if that makes sense. Whatever you've just thrown down there, it's now aware that you're also there.
Okay, then.
Anything else you'd like to do? Anything else?
Pull out the pistol,
Yeah.
and just be ready for what else comes my way.
Incredible. Alrighty, it is the hollow thing's turn. It rolled a 5. It has Johnny currently entangled.
We're hugging.
You're hugging? It's gonna hug even
Yeah.
tighter. It's gonna try and crush you.
Oh no, bad touch.
Give me a grit roll versus muscle. It's gonna roll its muscle now.
Okay. Grit is a D12er. That's a 10.
It has a D20 on muscle. It got a 17.
Fuck. Okay. We're in danger.
You feel this.
I'm in danger. Okay.
You feel this creature's grip on you tighten, and you immediately feel a rib just fracture. And you were going to immediately take an injury level.
Sure.
Oof.
You see then it's going to rear its head back. It distends its jaw in a way that you see the remaining flesh of Dr. Whitmore split here, and it's just going to let out this cry that echoes out across the entire cavern. I'm going to get everyone to give me a grit roll.
Yuck.
The DC is 10.
Uh-oh. Do we get is it fate tokens on failures?
Fate tokens on failures, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn a fate token so I can get the advantage.
Let's go.
Out of curiosity, how often can I use unwavering?
Let me double check my rule set. I think it
Yeah.
is as
A one-time thing, or
no.
and
you
would
can-
this count
You
as
can,
a play
you can
time to
use
use it?
and this would absolutely count. It's like once every,
Fabulous.
like not every scene, sorry. It's like once anytime you're required to make a roll.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna Ada's gonna just kind of reach in. She's already had that wackadoodle scene in that library, and she's just like, no, my head is in the game. I'm here to make sure this does not affect me. So she's gonna add that +3 to rolls to resist this supernatural influence, this thing that's trying to make her back down, and instead she's gonna stand in the face of danger.
Nice, incredible. All right.
So that's gonna be a 12.
Ooh, very good. Gerard.
I got a 6, but I burnt the remainder of my fate tokens to get me up to a 10.
Nice. All right, good call. Javi.
One. What is it? If I could burn one fate token, that'll add 2 to it. Yeah,
Plus-
2 or 1.
Plus 1.
Plus 1. I'll burn the remaining bit to bring me up to an 8.
Okay, I will tell you right now, you need a 10, so you can take the fail here and you can
Oh,
keep your
10.
fate
Never mind.
tokens.
Yeah, I'll take the fail.
Okay, you take the fail, but you take another fate token. Johnny?
I'm out of fate tokens, but I did roll an 11.
Oh, okay, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right, here's what happens then. This screech echoes through, and for a brief second, you guys are ripped from this reality. You can see just multiple versions of yourselves, like at the bottom of here, dead. You can see ones where someone walks away. You can see ones where nobody walks away. There's these different people in some of them. It's just this incredible reality-breaking moment, but all of you, with the exception of Javi here, snap back and stand in the face of danger. Javi, you're going to immediately take 1 injury level, and you're also going to lose a fate token.
Ouch.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
That's right, we came for blood. All right,
Yeah, we did.
Ada, your turn.
Okay, so Ada, I think, again, like she's standing her ground. I think she's a little more analytical in assessing what everyone else is capable of before jumping in right away.
Yeah.
So she knows she's not necessarily the strongest. She has a machete. She has her club as well. Is first off, for a quick above the table, would it be muscle for using the club, strike for using the machete, or strike for both?
I would say strike for both, if strike is better for you.
Great. Who besides Johnny, between Gerard and Javi, would Ada look like, from what we've seen, go, oh, this person is more capable, has a little bit more ability for strike and handling weapons?
Ooh, I think probably Javi. I'm gonna say off a guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say
Cool.
Javi.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So, perfect. Then Ada is going to run over to where Javi was, since he kind of ran in towards the fissure, and it's like the monster, the fissure in between the monster and the altar.
Monster, pulpit, fissure back here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Behind. So the monster's closest to us.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, so okay. So the monster's closer to us. I think Ada is gonna run over to Javi. So behind the monster. And I think she's going to toss you the club to take the altar down.
Ooh.
And she's gonna go in towards the monster to try and slash at the roots that have got Johnny.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Incredible.
Yeah.
Javi, you catch this club. You tell him destroy the altar?
Yeah, I would say like go get you already hit that fissure, come back towards us, get that altar taken out.
Incredible. And you're going to try and cut down Johnny's
I'm
roots
gonna
there.
Yeah.
Give me a strike roll.
We'll see how we do. It's not my strong.
I believe.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's a whole one.
Oh,
Swing and a miss.
that does not do it,
Swing and a
unfortunately.
miss. No,
He
that's
rolled
okay.
reflexes. You see that it manages to like get Johnny out of the way at the last second, kind of shifting you to the point where like as you breathe in, Johnny, like you can definitely feel like ribs are broken here. That's okay. You're up in the mix.
Yeah.
You're prepared. Incredible.
Got a plan.
You got a plan. That's all that matters. Gerard, what's the play?
All right. Let's see. So Gerard's going to take out another one of those hymn sheets and sprint towards the, let's say, altar, like the pulpit. Try and like slide past the monster, seeing that it's preoccupied. I'm going to unfurl it and press it into the top of the altar.
Ooh.
I'm then going to read the same hymn that was on there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my gifted ability to try and burn that into the altar.
Wow. I really like that.
Does anything?
Hell yeah.
I think that's really cool. All right. I'm going to call this a charm roll.
Lovely.
We're going to set a pretty high DC. It's going to be a 15.
Okay. All right.
And anyone that's in the scene with him can also burn fate tokens. Just remember that.
I have a
assist with the roll.
D20.
D20.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll do that.
All right, let's see.
Okay. That's an 11.
Okay.
I have none.
You have no fate tokens.
Yeah.
So if someone has
I-
4, you could split 4 fate tokens between you guys and give it to him to make 15.
Yeah, I can give one.
Same. I can give 2. I'll give 2. Bucket.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Johnny's out. So I'll give my last 2 as well.
All right. Incredible. Pushing it on there, you recite this hymn, you burn it into the pulpit there. You feel, I think, immediately this creature react, and it's like you've just touched an exposed nerve. It roars again. You see it moving Johnny around. It's immediately going to take another injury level. I think what you also realize pretty quickly is that you were right from the get-go. You were right from your jump from this initial pit. This is a rebirth. Gerard, you face technically this before. This feels like the exact same thing, this hollow thing. You can feel this hunger, you can feel this like need for stuff, but how would it have come back so quickly if it was fed such a good meal, basically? You know that it has been reborn as if it's been living through other people, and you know from what Johnny told you that there are people in town that have been smelling like this cradle that it's been born from. It's taken so much from this town, and it's managed to reap and rebuild and reborn and become back here again. It needs something to keep it sated, or it needs to be destroyed forever.
I'll pass that on as I'm like getting the beats there.
Yeah.
We need to take it down here and now. This can't stay here anymore. Your town will be gone.
That's me.
Yeah.
And that's the turn. That's the turn. Alrighty. Johnny, it is your turn. You are up.
Okay. So I think as I am in the vines still, correct?
Correct. You are still currently, but
All right,
you can
so
try and get out if you'd like.
Okay. No, yeah. But I as I've been caught, but I caught it, right? But as I've been caught and restrained and whatever, and I'm being swung around, and I'm kind of like grappled on it, having bitten it. As I rear up and I got squeezed, I got hurt. I've got him. And I think that's what you hear is
so good.
fully shifted Johnny saying I've got him when he's the one being crushed. And I think now here is the trick for part 2 of my master plan. So I've been holding on to my talisman for like control on my shifting. If I'm being held, this is, at however you, what I would like to do is partially shift or shift out if I can. Now that I am balanced, the white wolf and the shadow wolf, maybe I can bring it back, and I want to shift out, and like now that I'm skinny again, I want to slide out of the roots.
I think so.
And I want to try to pull the Papa's handgun and blast him with a silver bullet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm
So good.
I'm doing the old werewolf drop shot.
That's what they'll call it from this day forward. All right, I love that. I think the shrink goes down without a hitch. You think back to when you thought that the rest of your hunters shrunk in that initial cavern, and I think you go, wow, what a great idea. So you shift back down. You manage to effortlessly slip out of the vines there, and it's for a second where as you slip down, the creature with the slack there pulls those vines so tight that it sounds like a belt snapping. And you know that if it any part of you had been left exposed there, you would have been broken or cut off or worse. But you slip down, you make the shot. Give me a strike roll. Sorry. Yeah.
Strike roll. Okay.
Yes. And you're just gonna make it.
That's a 3 from me.
A 3 from you. It rolled a 5 on its reflexes.
Okay.
You slip out. The bullet goes wide off to the side there, but you are now free from its grasp.
Okay. All right. I try to barrel. I roll.
Holy shit. But you are free, you are out, you are dodging these. You can see that Ada is behind with this machete. You see him drop. You see that Gerard has just thrown him into this pulpit. You see that it's burnt into it. And you see that Javi is behind, having just been given the club. Very nice. Javi, it is your turn.
2 things. One, have I fully snapped out of whatever multiversal bullshit that we just went
you
through?
You are back. You are no longer multiversal. Okay. You are back in your own time, in your own body, in your own normal space.
Cool. How does my forearm look at the moment?
It is pulsing. It is hot. You can feel it like an inflamed wound being this close. It is reacting. It's not dragging you of any volition right now. Thankfully, because you passed those rolls earlier. Otherwise, you would be, it'd be a much different story. But it is reacting and it is flaring up in response to this creature.
Okay, cool. Well, I have the club, and just like what I'm being told to do, I will go ahead and do the thing. I'm gonna start breaking this motherfucker down.
Let's go. Are you hitting the pulpit or are you hitting the creature?
I'm hitting the pulpit.
All right, let's go. Give me a strike roll.
Alrighty. I have no fate tokens left, so
it's only a 6. Don't worry.
That's 10.
Hey!
Yeah.
Incredible. You see that Gerard has his hand placed onto it, burning down into this pulpit. You've just relayed that this thing needs to be killed or sealed or sated forever. Otherwise, it's going to destroy the town. You swing at it there. You can see that it absorbs the blow for a second, but it just cuts through and hits something in there, and you can see that it leaves almost like an impact of this club. You feel the creature scream out again. Oh boy, it's looking good. Okay, anything else? It takes an injury level.
Okay, cool. And you said so the pulpit breaks?
It is
something along those lines?
dented in. You can see that if it takes any more damage, it will probably break.
I will. What is it? You'll see Javi just kind of relay that information. It's like one more good hit and it's fucking done. And that's it for me. I'll pass turn.
Alrighty. It is the Hollow Thing's turn. You can see that it is getting desperate. It is worried. It sees that this pulpit is being destroyed. It can see this unity between you all. And it goes and it turns around and it's just going to swing these wings around and try to hit all of you in close succession because you're all grouped up. I will get everyone to make a reflexes roll for me.
Oh.
Come on, baby. That's 3.
Okay. 3, 1, 3.
3.
I got
Yeah.
6.
You got a 6?
Oh man.
Okay. I was rolling a d12 for strike. I exploded on the 12.
Oh
and
shit.
then I got
Shit.
a 1, so it was 13.
Okay.
Oh my
okay,
god.
hurts.
Oh my god.
It swings these wings around, and all of you feel like you've almost been hit by these logs as it just slams into you. And you cast your minds back to when you were looking in this Red Eye Hollow, these massive, like, things that like have moved trees and shifted things around, and you feel it now as it hits you like a railway sleeper, just like slammed into your chest, basically, as you all get knocked around. You're all going to take an injury level. I think that puts some people at a moderate injury.
I'm at 2.
You're at 2?
Yeah.
Okay. You're at 2?
Javi and Johnny
Javi and
at
Johnny
2.
are both at 2, I think. I think Gerard's at 1.
I'm at 1.
And I'm at 1.
Okay, and you're at 1. All right. Incredible. And then it is going to... It's going to try and grab someone again. 1, 2, roll a d4 for it.
Grab me, you bastard.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it, you coward.
You won't. Having been the one just hit the pulpit, it's going to go for Javi. Javi, give me a reflexes roll, my friend.
Okay. Okay, that's a 4.
Okay.
It's gonna explode. Let's see if
Okay.
I can do it again.
Hello?
That's a 6 for me.
All right.
A 6 total? Anyone want to add anything
Yes.
to it?
We're
Does
all
anyone have
out.
any fate
What-
tokens?
What?
Oh wait, do we get fate tokens for getting hit
Yeah.
by the reflex? I got a fate token for you. Please, you add a 1.
Cool.
Okay.
And then I'll add mine too, so that makes it up to what, an 8?
Okay.
What is it against?
1 for 1 spend if you want to give him a fate token. So,
Okay.
We don't know
Well-
what he's got to beat yet.
Okay.
do you want me to tell you?
Well, obviously, I would like that.
It's an 11. I don't think it can be beat.
Well,
Even
I'm still giving mine.
I have +2 from missing my bullet because of my smooth talker perk. Gain 2 fate tokens when you fail instead of 1. And then if I just got hit again, I actually have 4 fate tokens.
That would bring me up to what, a 12?
I in human form howl to pull its attention.
You see that it whips around at the last second, Harvey. This vine that would have wrapped around your neck and just killed you completely goes a little bit to the left there as Johnny distracts it. Holy fucking shit.
That's amazing.
How many did I have to spend?
I think that
had 4.
was 3. You gave 3?
I gave
1.
1.
All right, so
Yep, I had 1.
1, 2,
Aurora
3.
gave me 1.
you would have had to
those-
spend
I
3.
can get
Yeah,
I would okay.
Would have been 3.
Okay.
Okay. Holy shit. Okie doke. Ada, your turn. What are you doing?
Okay. If she's gonna hand her machete to Johnny, will he take it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, great. And then Lore Master, I've got a wild swing for you.
All right,
Okay.
that's what we like.
Lore is my girl's thing. Ada, it's her knowledge, it's her history of the town, it's her history of the native tribe that she has been helping. She has been writing down these stories. She's been trying to help just codify, for generations to come. And she was also in that library with like a lot of interesting books.
Yeah.
So I got 2 pathways. I'm gonna pitch my ideas and then we'll
Please.
roll and see if I can do any of these.
Mhm.
One, either something that she recalls is from one of the local native tribes that knows this creature, not by name. The history of it's been, kind of obfuscated, but she has either something that she learns that can help seal it away
Mhm.
or help give us a little bit extra protection.
Yeah.
Those are the things I'm looking for. Or in that library, before she kind of snapped back, did she see maybe some kind of book about a hollow thing and flipped to the ending? So I like both of those ideas, and I will let you pitch for one.
I think it's a I think it's a combination of both. Okay.
Cool.
I think.
All right, I'm gonna do. Oh yeah. And so I'm gonna do a lore roll. You tell me what you want me to beat. I do have a D20.
Incredible.
So.
All right. It is gonna be a lore roll. We're gonna give it a. This is good. I really like this. And it
I can also. You know what? I'm not gonna look at it.
We're gonna give it a 12. We're gonna give it a 12. We're gonna give it a 12.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. What is it?
It's a 15.
Okay. Okay. Here's what happens.
Okay.
You're in this library, you cast back. As you were throwing this sheet over this mirror version of you, this book caught your eye, The Thing Beneath the Mountain. Flicking to the back, it reminds you, because you know that all of this is just from your subconscious. Nothing here you haven't thought or you haven't seen or you haven't read before, basically. And you remember these whispers of this thing. The mountain's always been this imposing thing. It's older than bone, right? It is the oldest structure here. You remember these talks amongst like the tribe. You know that there's this thing that sleeps beneath the mountain. It's never been given a name. It's an absence of everything good. But you do know that there is some kind of sealing ritual that would work. And on a 15, I think you know that it needs something to be offered to it. And you need to make sure you get these sigils right exactly. And
okay,
you know
great.
what the sigils are. You remember them? It's basically like an inversion of this symbol, basically, where you're striking out whatever is beneath the mountain here.
Do I feel like it's something I can start writing on the ground right in front of me, or does it? Great. So she's got she has an extra knife, I believe, that she got from Javi early on. So she's gonna take that knife out and she's gonna just start carving these sigils and trying to recall the words of this sealing ritual. And then do you want me to think of what I'm giving up now, or do we want to keep going? And
absolutely, I'm going to say that you know that something this old and this powerful needs something intrinsically as powerful as an offering. And I'll leave the ball in your court what you think that is, but it has to be something that a ritual of this magnitude would think is
personal
necessary.
Or something bigger for the town.
It could be the town, it could be something within the room, it could be whatever you think would be worthwhile in exchange here. If you think that this thing that people don't know the name of and are spoken about in hushed like tomes and whispers, it needs something equally unknowable and like
unknowable.
Yeah.
Okay. I have two things. One, the unknowable speaks very deeply to the whole reason why Ada went into her writing, her research. Her family generations ago, to kind of like assimilate, to survive, did everything they could to scratch out their native roots. It's one of the reasons why she's been trying as much as possible to just gather this information, this history, and feel a connection to it. She's always felt kind of cut off from history because, as far as she knows, her grandparents are where her family started. So for her, if it's a personable thing of unknowing, kind of giving up that quest, that desire to find out where those roots were, to really find her family's history, and knowing that those stories and those people and those memories will remain buried forever.
I like it. I really do. I think that is a worthwhile exchange. Absolutely. What does that look like symbolically as you begin this ritual?
She has a small silver hair clip that has some beadwork on it. It's the first thing that ever kind of like led her towards the creativity of her family, of her ancestors. It was something her grandma used to wear, and she said it was hers when it was a little girl. So I think she takes this little hair clip and puts it kind of at the center of that symbol, the thing that needs to be fed, since it's kind of an inverse of that sigil, and puts it there. And so I think that's the external element to kind of let herself know, hey, I'm giving up that quest. But I think she's kind of feeding into it, yes, she's done that work to keep those stories alive, but I think she's kind of pushing, like letting her brain kind of like give up those memories, those connections. Yes, she's still going to be doing that work, but it's going to be coming from a different place now. It's not going to be coming from a wanting to be known.
Oof. I love that. Incredible. You continue etching these words that just kind of seem like unbidden, start like falling from your lips as this ritual begins. Oof. Gerard, what's the play?
I think. How in danger does Ada look at the moment?
Ada looks, she looks okay. Like Ada looks
fine.
fine.
Is she alright?
Yeah.
About the same as Gerard. Yeah.
Okay. I think I will quickly shift over to Javi. I'm gonna quickly place my hand on his back, and I'm gonna use my gifted ability. Within the text, it does reference healing.
Yes.
And I will just quickly whisper to him and be like, I shook your hand and I made you a promise. We're gonna get you out of here. And I'm gonna try and heal him up as best I can.
Absolutely. I like that. I think immediately, Javi, you feel some of these injuries knit back together and you're gonna clear an injury level.
Alrighty.
Anything else?
And then it's just like as you say that, Javi's just gonna look and just give you a smile and a nod before we continue on.
All right.
Okay.
Johnny, what are you doing?
Okay. I think we've tried strength. We tried guile. We tried strength. But Johnny knows. Just to be clear, the Whitmore facility is still existing. Yeah?
It is, but it stretched out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but is there still the facsimile of face?
Yes, there's still. It's still there.
Okay, I'm going to take the hymn sheet that Gerard gave me. That was like an anti-possession charm, and I have the machete in the other hand, and I'm pulling from my wrist wrap the sheet that is a hymn, and I'm like putting like the machete like kind of like behind my back a little, but it goes, I know the real thing that hurts monsters. Read! And I pull up the anti-possession charm, and I want to like put it up into the face of Whitmore facsimile, in the hopes of relief. If it's being held, if this is like a consciousness that has been held, to release it, or if it is a consciousness, if it is the best of their assimilated. If it's the best of their impressions, maybe scrambling the brain, as it were. And if that doesn't fail, I got Plan B behind my. I got Plan B.
I love it. All right. Give me a charm roll, and I'm gonna try and roll against grit.
Okay. Charm, the old D20, old faithful.
Old faithful.
The one that started it all. Okay. That is an 8. I'm gonna drop my 1 fate point for a 9.
Okay, let's see. Okay, it just rolled an 8 on its, and it's a D8, so it explodes. So we need a 1 here because it always goes in favor of the player. Ready?
Okay.
I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm not.
Nuh-uh.
It was a
Nuh-uh.
1.
Yes.
A 1. Oh,
yes. Yes.
I'm not going to be beaten by Go Blind whiskey and scripture, damn it, but I guess I am.
Raid!
You see that you bring this up, and I think it's the conviction of you and the faith that you've had in your companions that make this so abhorrent to this creature that doesn't cannot feel like friendship or happiness. It doesn't have the capacity for that. You're forcing it to understand this. It's almost like you're forcing it to empathize, and it doesn't have the capacity to do it. You can see that it's scrambling. This face is like dripping off like melted candle wax now. It doesn't understand what's going on. It's scrambling. It doesn't know. And you see that it almost like folds in as if it's like something has just pushed against its face and it cracks in like that. That's its final injury level. I need to make that very clear. You see that this facsimile drops. The issue is that these roots now have just started like moving aimlessly. There is nothing controlling it, and they're all slowly retracting back into the earth. You need to finish this sealing ritual right now, or it's just going to go back into the earth and it's going to reform.
Yeah.
You all see, we're out of this initiative order now. You see Ada is making this ritual. I don't know if you've had the time to explain what the ritual is, but I'll say now you can very briefly tell them this is for sealing. If you want to expedite it, you need to give to the ritual. You need to give something up. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. But...
Us?
Yeah, if you want, you can expedite this ritual.
No worries. I have... Because I only took a sip earlier. I have half a final vial of Go Blind. And I offer it up to the good earth as is custom for many moons.
And I know that it's initially played off like a joke, but there is truly something unknowable about this recipe. I think that, and I think it's a significance to Johnny. It's something that he created without like the need for any of like this like supernatural. There's nothing like, it's so basely human and so intrinsic to his being that it's something that as it's added there, you can see that the ritual accepts it, despite maybe out of you initially being like, whoa, don't do that. You see that it greedily drinks it.
I pour one out for the fallen homies.
Anyone else? Anyone else? You see that the roots are going back in. If this next sacrifice isn't sufficient enough, narrative-wise, and I think we can all decide on that, these roots are going to retract back into the earth. Up to you guys.
If nothing else, Ada has more she can offer too, but I will...
You can tell me if you think this is worth it, all right? In Gerard's mind, you draw power from emotions, be they good, bad, or otherwise. He has been harboring this hatred for his father, and I think that's what he wants to give up.
Ending that relentless quest of like revenge and like that thing looming over your head for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I think in turn with that, that's hunting done for him. He will give up
His retirement.
That life. It's retirement.
Holy shit. I think the DM, I think that's narratively satisfying. Do we all feel like that's a narrative win here?
I like it. I like it.
I ship Father Montgomery and Gerard having a nice, happy life together. So yes.
Okay. Here's what happens. Ada, the final glyph that you need to make is etched. These last chants fade from your lips, unbidden. It's almost like the last gift that your ancestors and your lineage could give to you was finishing this for you. This creature lays broken and battered, this facsimile of Rachel Whitmore, erased from Earth. You can see this fissure is closing and it's closing and it's rapidly getting closer. You can see these tentacles are trying to get back into the Earth. And as Gerard, you know what you're giving up and you know what you're going home to. You see the fissure close and you can see these tentacles, these roots just get cut off entirely, writhing like snakes and worms there. Javi, you kind of stumble for a second as that mark on your arm flares up for a second, and then diminishes back down, and all that's left is this scar. You see the mountain groan. There's this slow exhale as if it's just finally released this breath that it's been holding for eons. There's a moment where you don't cheer, you don't speak, you just listen to these walls for a second, and you wait for that breathing and that heartbeat to stop. And it does.
Can Ada take out the vial and see if the thing has stopped moving as well?
It has withered away to ash.
Wonderful.
Turning around, you can see that the exit to this cave was never far. You can see that there is light spilling in. You can leave now. And you never have to come back here. You guys all walk out?
I think Ada would ask Gerard, do you think you still can do that fire thing you were doing? And then ask him to burn at least the sigils that we were just drawing, or, the whole place behind us when we walk out.
Yeah.
Gerard just begins to backburn this entire place.
Cool.
You guys exit from this exit that looks like it has been there forever. And when you step outside, the scent of the forest, this pine, this fresh air hits you. And I think for some, it's hopeful. For Gerard, it's a life of no longer having that hanging over your head. For Johnny, there's this unification between the two halves of you. Javi, you're not plagued by whatever was on your arm here. You know that whatever you are putting out into the world, you're going to help people. And Ada, you know that you can do both. You can be that person on the books, you can be the person in the field, but I think there's just irrevocably this feeling of something that you are never going to be able to finish. Like a manuscript or a book that never gets read. You guys take a step out, the camera pulls up into the sky, and the last glimpse we see is our hunters standing in front of an abandoned quarry. And that is where we're going to wrap this episode of Crossroads. We did it! Oh my goodness, guys!
GG's, everybody.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Brilliant.
Incredible.
Wow.
All right. Because
That was wild.
you guys are all amazing. We're on a little bit of a time crunch, Lachy and I, so I apologize. So very quickly, let's
That's
run
okay.
through some outros, starting with our incredible librarian, Ada Weston. Who are you? Where can people find you?
Hi, I had the honor of getting to play Ada Weston in this absolutely fabulous, so much fun game. I am Aurora_lore on Twitch, and Aurora J. Culver on Instagram. You can join me for some streams, getting some work done, getting some buddy streams going on, and potentially some other future TTRPGs in the long run, and a book of my own in the works.
She plays an author and she is an author.
As she is an author.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Justin.
Yeah, hey everybody, how's it going? I am GM Justin. Thank you for tuning in for this amazing finale. I am, like I said, I am GM Justin. You can find me on all my socials at Forever GM Justin, or you can find me over Roll D5, where we specialize in playing any TTRPGs. And I played Javi, and this was phenomenal. Thank you, Connor, again for bringing us all together to be able to tell this amazing story. And with that, I will go ahead and kick this off to Jojo.
Oh, hey. Hi. I'm Jojo. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. They're being here and stuff. I was playing Johnny Slim. Howling Johnny Slim. Had a lot of fun. You can find me on the internet at Jojo Culturalist and at Melanin Mythos on your podcasts and Somebody's Heroes on your podcasts. And that was. I'm gonna pass it over to Lachy, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, my name's Lachy. I'm from the MimicsDen. It's been an absolute pleasure to be back in the role of Gerard Cole and seeing a happy ending. I thought I was going to get absolutely murked here, so
Me too.
it was nice.
Same.
It's been spectacular to get to play with all you beautiful people. But you can find the MimicsDen podcast wherever you consume your podcasts. It's got some fantastic people in it. It's a beautiful little story. If you enjoy cozy tavern sims, if if you would have a love for Lovecraftian spooks, whatever, come check us out. You can also find me over on Hexes and Vexes. I play Hikari Shoal, a little air genasi guy. It's fun. It's beautiful. I also should plug before I voice for another podcast over at D&B. Beautiful people. I play a warlock by the name of Far. He is just as damaged as Gerard, but I think Gerard's probably a little more handsome. And with that, let me pass it over to the beautiful Lore Master himself.
You're the hardest working voice actor in Toowoomba.
My house.
Hey, how you doing, beautiful people? My name has and always will be Cloud Kill Connor. I have had the express pleasure of rolling dice and kicking it with some of the coolest people in the TTRPG community, and me as well. If you found this channel on accident, my condolences. If you're here on purpose, thank you so much for being here. We love you. We adore you. I am here all the time. I'm here on Twitch. I'm here on YouTube. I make silly little clothes. This one says I creep my pants, my lord. That'll be up somewhere soon. And all I want to do is play more games. I'm on his podcast too. I play Trevor Barrowbrive, who's a little nerdy halfling cleric, just in over his head. And that's it for now. My beautiful people, if you can't be good to yourself, be good to somebody else. We love you all very much, and we will see you next time we cross the road. All right, bye, everybody.
No.
Bye.
Bye.